Yo, and welcome to the 37th episode of Lake of Rage, a Pokemon trading card game podcast. I am your host, as always, Kevin Clementi, aka Mellow_Magikarp, and I'm joined today by two very special temporary guest hosts. Joining us again for the third time in 4 weeks is Sack, aka Sack17.
What's up, Mellow?
And joining us again is Lock, aka Da Lock.
Heyo.
So a very special one for you. With Thanksgiving coming up, U.S. Thanksgiving, shout out to our Canadian listeners who had it last month. I don't know why you would have it last month when you have a perfectly good November to have Thanksgiving, but we're going to start off with a little bit of stuff that we're thankful for. Then we're going to talk about our main topic, which is going to be rogue decks in Fusion Strike that we think are competitively viable. And then we'll do some questions from Twitch chat. As always, we're recording live on twitch.tv/mellow_Magikarp. So, Sack, how's your week been?
Been good. I went to bingo yesterday and I won.
Let's go.
Yeah. It was hot all night except for blackout. And there's one where you have to get, it's called a stamp. You have to get 4 next to each other. And I won on that one twice. It was like
twice.
Well, kind of. I needed 1 space and I would win twice over. I formed 2 stamps. And I was like, I won. And then bingo is also trivia night. So the round that we did not get trivia correct is the round that I won. Otherwise, we got all the other trivia rounds correct, and then we get to spin the wheel, and then you win a prize, like a pint or something.
Let's go.
So I just got a pint for myself instead of for the table, and asked for a pint of ice cream, and they said no.
That's unfortunate. I feel like Wisconsin would not be into ice cream over beer.
Yeah, you have to get something on tap, and I was like, so you're telling me a pint of ice cream is not on tap? Got it.
So for your trivia team, what is your specialty?
My specialty? Moral support. Actually, no, that's not true. So one of the trivia questions was a bird, and it was like high metabolism, migrates, flies backwards, all this other stuff. And I'm like, I know this one. It's a hummingbird. Right. And I was like, yeah, I know this one because we both have high metabolisms and can also fly backwards. So I did come in clutch for that one. So that was kind of cool.
So you're telling me your animal is if you were to transform into an animal, you would be a hummingbird. My
spirit animal, probably a hummingbird. I'm quick. I'm agile. We have high metabolism and I can fly backwards. Maybe. I don't know about that last one, but yeah, I got that one.
Locke, how's your week been?
Pretty good actually. I did a lot of gaming this last week. I got placed into Gold 4 in Halo, which is
let's go.
Above average.
Is it the bronze, silver, gold, platinum?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we did our Unite tourney with our squad for the first time in since the game came out.
Let's go.
And we actually. We won a round, so
bro, we won 2 rounds if you count the bye.
Oh yeah, yep.
Bro, I'm counting the bye all the way. We made it farther than TTV didn't make it past the bye.
We lost to the second place team, so
and we were
didn't lose that bad.
Bro, if Mello ults to save himself at the end, I think we win game 1 against them. So
oh, and you know what? In game 1, I thought we were losing so much. The last minute, I was just memeing.
Oh, but we did the team fight, we absolutely killed it. Oh man, no, it was, bro, we were killing it. I'm really excited for us. And shout out to Somber Curse, who is an amazing Twitch streamer, although they don't stream TCG anymore. But they filled in as a jungler because Sack couldn't make it and Eevee couldn't make it. And you know what? It worked out pretty darn well for us. Because we were.
I was in Iowa for the weekend.
Why would you be in Iowa?
There was Pokemon going on.
Oh, let's go. How'd you do?
Yeah, man.
I went 2-1. I lost to Mew VMAX playing Suicune, but I beat Etern and I beat Jolteon. It was pretty sick. But highlight of the weekend is usually we clean out all the card shops here in the area. Iowa, whole new area. So we hit up so many card shops and found so many cards.
Let's go.
And my friend got an Umbreon EX for $65. It was sick.
The old school 2010-ish one?
Yeah.
Nice. Let's go.
Farther back than that. It was about 200.
Oh, the 06 one. Yeah.
Yeah, way far back. I found a Larvitar that was reverse hollow. Highlight of the weekend for me. $30.
Let's
It was
go.
rough on the Larvitar, but yeah, so many card shops. It was great.
Anything beyond Unite Lock?
What, tonight or?
Yeah, just in general.
Oh.
I didn't want to cut you off.
I'm playing Unite every single day, so
That's true.
yeah.
Bro, yeah, that was one of the highlights of my week was that tournament. That was so much fun. Like, so I'm a Snorlax main, and so I don't actually do anything for the team except like I heavy slam and then I use block and then I hope that the rest of my team kills them. And it's very fun. I really enjoy the game because I only have to push like 6 buttons the entire 10 minutes for us to do well. And then on Saturday, I played my second IRL tournament post rotation. I've been casting at tabletop, but I haven't actually played. I borrowed from shout out to Captain Wonder from Twitch chat. I borrowed one of his decks one day and made top 8 with it. But this is my first time playing my deck, and I played Mew VMAX at a cash tournament. I split the finals. We agreed to prize split, so it took him $114. And correction, I told them to keep it because I had an IOU because I bought Mew VMAX, which is a very expensive deck. But I essentially got to pay for the deck. Super fun. I went undefeated in Swiss. I beat Gengar VMAX in top 4, and then I prize split with Gengar VMAX in the finals. Shout out to my opponent. Shout out to Corey Moneymaker, who knew the matchup and said, I know better than to not take the split against you, Kevin. And so it's like, all right, sick. We're good to go. One of the best pieces of advice you can ever give. If you have someone who can actually beat a bad matchup, take that freaking split. Because I've had situations where it doesn't work. I split the finals once with Christian from local. Shout out to Christian if you're listening. I was playing Tomb. He was playing Victini VMAX. I offered the split, and he's like, why would you do that? You auto-win me. And I'm like, yeah, stuff happens, man. I'm not betting $60 on this. And then we played for fun. He 2-0'd me because I played 0 draw supporters and 0 quick balls. So take that prize split, man. Any chance you can get for cash, you accept that. What else happened? Oh, I'm going on Thanksgiving break soon. That's really exciting. So no content for me for a little while because my wife and I are going up to Vancouver. Hopefully, I have to wait for my COVID test to come back. Anyone who's traveled out of the US knows how stressful it can be. You have to get your COVID test 72 hours in advance, but it takes 48 hours to get it back. So it's like pushing right up against the limit. It's so stressful. I'm super hyped. I love Vancouver. Shout out to any Vancouver listeners that we have. I'm not going to visit you because it's my wife's birthday, but I'll visit you for Vancouver regionals, I promise. It's a beautiful city. It's like really fun too.
Oh yeah, we also have to do that for London too. So
Ooh.
Like do the 72-hour and get your like test within the first 48 or whatever. So
yes, which is like I said, it's so stressful because you're like, even if you know it's going to be negative, you're just like, I have to like the test has to come back, and I can't have no control over it. So Thanksgiving is coming up in the United States where we are all located. So I want to start off with something that we're all thankful for. It could be Pokemon TCG related or not, but it's kind of, that spirit of Thanksgiving. Zach, we started with you last time. So Zach, why don't you go ahead and drop us one piece of things you're thankful for? That was a terrible sentence.
Probably my friends. I'm like out here on the eastern side of Wisconsin, solo dolo, not a lot of family around me, and my friends just kind of carried me through it. So we already had Friendsgiving. That was great. I spent a lot of time with them. And for Thanksgiving, I'm not doing anything else. So it's good to be with them. Yeah.
Beautiful. You'll love to hear it. Locke, what about you?
So the previous weekend, I visited my buddy Nick Kirkpatrick in like Southern Virginia, and he helped me print a prototype of my board game that I've been like designing, and he's actually been like going out and like getting it play tested with his friends in his locals, which is more than I've been doing for my own game. So
that's dope.
Shout out to him.
When's the game gonna be? When can I buy it on a shelf?
So I think I got most of it already done. So I'm hoping there's an SPE at Gen Con again. And then, so I can just do the SPE during one of the days and just go out for interviews with all the board game publishers during the other days of the convention. And then hopefully strike a deal.
Let's go.
Can we get a quick rundown on the game?
Yeah, what would the back of the box say?
Yeah.
Let's see. It goes from 2 to 5 players. It's like about an hour and a half long. And it's like a drafting type game. So kind of like Pokemon Cubes, but you're just trying to like set collect. So like get different types of colors and stuff. And the concept of the game is that you're building a Amazon headquarters like building. So you want to build like warehouses, office spaces for your engineers and stuff, and a whole bunch of other rooms and stuff. So
are there any Easter eggs in the game? Like, this is your personal game, right? Did you put any personal Easter eggs in there for people? You know?
No, I'm just keeping it simple for now because it's my first game.
Yeah, expansion packs. There we go.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I already got expansion packs ideas in my head already. So,
or you got to get that power creep in there.
Yeah.
That's dope. I hope it goes well, and something to consider. Bring to Salt Lake so we can play. I'm down.
I'm down.
Right? Oh, bro, we got the whole squad. We can all just miss day 2 together and play it at the table.
I've never made day 2. I'm trying to like schedule that in for my flight. My flight comes back Monday afternoon, so I have day 2 penciled in. If I'm already planning to miss it, I'm gonna be big bummed out.
Bro,
I like really get to know Salt Lake City now. I'm going for a walk.
The most fun I had at a regional pre-pandemic was the one that I missed day 2 at. Like, I really enjoyed Dallas because it was just me and the friends hanging out. Like, Saturday night I could do whatever because I didn't have to wake up in the morning. So obviously making day 2 is great. I want to make day 2 at both Salt Lake and Vancouver. But if you miss, you can have a heck of a lot more fun than you do playing Pokemon cards sometimes.
Oh yeah. I'm planning on going to probably Salt Lake City Zoo or whatever if I miss day 2 and just do that in like later afternoon.
Nice. But also, we're gonna all make day 2. Don't worry, I got the broken list. Just hashtag trust. All right. Oh, I haven't said anything. I'm thankful for the Pokemon TCG. Kind of going off of Zach's thing of just like friendship. I have made a lot of both friends and acquaintances in this game, and I'm so happy that I found it. Like you, Zach, I have no family up here. I live in Washington right now, in Seattle, and my family's in Arizona. And like moving up here, I had no friends. I am a teacher, and most of my coworkers are like older than I am by like a very significant amount. And so it's hard to make friends at work and all that stuff too. And so it's like, it's so great having Pokemon to like meet people, have stuff to do, just have so many homies at locals, or even just like people that's like, hey, we've seen each other before. Let's just chat. Or, oh, we're both here. Let's play 2010 real quick. This kind of stuff. So I'm super thankful for that stuff because it's just so nice to like have a hobby and to have just people that I can rely on. And obviously there's all of Carpe D's rats. I love all y'all. Having people play Unite with is super fun. Having people to just like, whatever the podcast is super fun as well. So that's my Thanksgiving thing. And shout out to everyone who's listening. Shout out to everyone who watches. The fact that people want to watch me as a content creator is still so stupid to me. I love you all, but why? But
you even have Tord in your chat right now.
Bro, that is true. Tord and Pedro watch. And I know Robin's in here occasionally too. And it's just like, I appreciate that. I'm not sure why, but I appreciate that. Speaking of why, let's talk about some rogue decks. So a real quick rundown of the current meta. You should be playing Mew VMAX, Single Strike, or Suicune. Do any of you have a difference of opinion between those 3?
That's about right.
Rapid Strike, maybe.
Yeah. There are other good decks.
Yeah.
Like possibly Jolteon, but even that's kind of iffy, but yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping, like, you're not really playing Jolteon, you're really just playing Marnie Path.
Marnie Path is good.
Yep.
Yeah. Of my Mew VMAX losses on PTCGO ladder, Marnie Path is about a quarter of them. But to be fair, that's only like 8 losses total. So that's 2 out of 8. That's not that many. But yeah, that's I mean, there are other good decks. Check out my YouTube video for the tier list because it's like I think those three are the clear best decks, and then there's like 18 decks that are like fine. Like you all said, Jolteon's one of them. Rapid Strike's one of them. Various shenanigans, like different versions, like Ice Rider, I think is worse Suicune. It's viable. Gengar's another. I think it's worse Single Strike, but like it's good.
Yeah, well, unless you're like a Zool.
That doesn't count.
You're probably fine playing whatever.
Yeah. That's one of my favorite things where it's like sometimes you're like, oh, the format's not skillful, and then you watch a Zool in a tournament play definitely not the best decks. Like Ice Rider Hammers or Inteleon Gengar, and you're like, oh, no, wait, the format requires a lot of skill. Like,
yeah,
still very good. But I think there's a lot of room for these rogue decks, especially in such a like narrow-ish meta that seems like it's just going to get more and more narrow as people realize Mew really is that good, and therefore Single Strike is really that good, and therefore Suicune is also very good. And so I want to talk about some of these rogue decks. So I've got a list of things that we have come up with before that I have to pull up. The first one I want to talk about is Ross Cawthon's deck that I played last format a bit. And shout out to Kobe Kawasaki, who's been playing it at locals. He got top 8 at our last tabletop tournament, and he got top 4 in the cash tournament that I played the other day. Thank goodness I avoided him in top 4, because that deck just bodies me. For those who don't know, it plays, oh my gosh, what's it? Assault Gate Hoopa. When it switches, it does 90 and no weakness. And it plays Galarian Moltres, the one that accelerates energy to itself, and does 50 for each prize card your opponent has taken. I think this deck is highly playable, and no one plays it for like no good reason. And I don't know, have either of you touched the deck yet or lost to it potentially?
I've done both. You get like Rapid Flow, which is kind of unfortunate, and that was like a big gatekeeper earlier. You also get Jolteon early. That one sucks. And then like maybe Dragapult if you can't get your samples out. So like there's like some consistency issues in like being a single prizer and like having low HP and people just doing spread damage. Like those aren't great. But if you're playing against like Suicune, which doesn't do any spread damage, or like I don't know, like Mew, Single Strike, stuff like that, you can actually start ramping your damage. You do like Assault Gate, they go KO Hoopa, you go like Assault Gate, they go KO Hoopa, and then you go like, well, my Moltres does a lot now, so have fun. And since you're single prizes, you can trade pretty evenly. So it's like frustrating to play against if you're playing Suicune.
Yeah, the fact that Moltres scales so much, when your opponent's taking 5 prizes, it does 270, which is like a lot. You know, Single Strike, you can very often KO Single Strike VMAXs when you're doing 270 because they have to damage themselves. You play Quick Shooting, so it can fix some of that math as well. Or like you said, you go Assault Gate into Moltres. I think that deck is so good. The sequencing, like the amount of skill it takes to play the deck optimally versus how powerful it is a big deterrent. Because like it takes a lot of skill to play optimally. And at that point, you should just play one of the better decks, probably, if you're good enough to play it optimally. But like, boy, it just bodies Mew. And it's such a good Single Strike matchup. It also pretty solid Suicune. So I think that's a deck that we should be seeing more play. Plus, it's really fun. Single prizers are fun, man. I love single prize decks.
Yeah. We need more of them for sure. But like, unfortunately, there's like not a lot going on for single strike decks or single prize decks.
Next one I want to talk about real quick is Bolton. For anyone who was watching the stream before the podcast, I played some of this deck. I went 4-0 with it, including beating a Mew, a Single Strike, and a Victini. Because Bolton is clearly the BDIF. But if it has damage counters on it, it attacks for a single energy for 130 damage, which is really bad. 130 damage sucks. I thought the card was broken because I thought it was 160. But it's a super fun deck. It shows up occasionally in tournaments. I need to get the name real quick of the person who did well with it at Lesage's late night event the other night. But it's fun. It's Inteleon. It also plays a 1/1 Flapple line as well. And the 1/1 Flapple line just punches Mew so hard because Mew always has like, 3 to 5 abilities on the field. And so Flapple's doing 150 to 250, which is so good. Single Strike Bro, single strike always has like 3 Houndooms down or like some Houndooms and Crobat, and you're doing like 200 damage there. I really enjoyed it.
And Umbreons.
And bro, and Umbreon too.
Yeah.
Ooh, even better. Jorge Canny. There we go. Or Jorge Connie.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are we playing more Flapple?
That's a good question. Why aren't we playing more
Yeah.
Flapple?
It decks for a colorless. People like put in Weavile into decks. You remember like Zoro Lycanroc with like Weavile? And it had like the same Evolab like ability.
And it's levelable.
This attacks for colorless. Yeah. Which is like everyone's playing Inteleon, right? Like that's where the abilities come from. And that's why you're doing so much damage. Because the Inteleon line or Genocide. So like it's searchable.
So why aren't we playing? Like legit question, why aren't we playing it? I love this card.
Yeah.
And there's the apples, and that's like flip for a boss or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
A couple sets ago.
Oh, wait, and there, bro, the Appleton 2, that is the same attack. It's a colorless energy, but it's 70 for each special energy.
So many
Use Body Mew, right?
You just play like a 1-2 line. You're like, which one do I need this game? And then you just get after it.
Wait, why aren't we playing this?
Is it because it gets just bodied? Like, but it's like a single prize. Weird.
I don't think there's like. I think every single deck relies on abilities.
I think so. I'm trying to think of an exception to that.
Yeah.
I cannot think of one.
Except for like Fusion Strike. Goes in everything.
They have like a billion Genesects on the board.
Yeah, but it's also like not Fusion Strike, but you can't put it in Genocide.
I mean,
my guess is, hear me out. If I'm taking a shot at this, it's because Applin has 40 HP. You go at double quick shooting.
Oh shoot! Wait, yeah, that's pretty bad. You also get like Strafe plus Goon thing. Like I don't know, 40 HP just sucks.
Right. Yeah, you just get bullied. So like you can't bench it, and if you start it, it's like a little rough, but still play like a 1-1 line.
And you like just go first. Yes.
Oh,
yeah,
bro,
you get straight.
Yeah.
Wait, so I'm kind of interested. Like the idea of rogue, I like to bring up the idea of rogue decks because I think not everyone can afford Mew. I said on a tweet the other day, like I'm not sure why this format's not all Mew mirrors, and like 16 people replied to me that like, I can't afford it, which is fair. That's a very valid statement. And no one wants to play single strike all day because, boy, that deck is a giant potato. So I think there's some level of these rogue decks that should be showing up at tournaments. The game is supposed to be fun, and single prize decks are usually fun because there's so much sequencing and moving parts and stuff like that. So I think Appleton feels like Flapple, not Appleton. Flapple feels like it's underrepresented right now because every deck, except like Victini, I guess, plays like a million.
You just push the. Can you even knock out the Flapple?
It can't because it's 90 HP.
Oh, tough.
Bro, poor Victini. I bodied one with Bolton too. Speaking of, going back to Bolton real quick, 130 HP. You have to damage it, so you play Old Cemetery, so you attach to it, and they still can't KO you because they do 100 damage, and you have 110 HP remaining. I'm sorry, Victini, but it's such a meme. I'm never going to be into that deck.
No. I tried it before pre-rotation when you got like Chip, Stamp, and all that stuff, and like Welder and whatnot.
Chip.
Yeah, it would Chip, Ice Axe, Crushing Hammers, Research, Marnies, Kabus, the whole works. It was that, but you just got pre-rotation cards. Still bad.
That checks out.
Yeah.
All right, so Bolton's a cool deck. It was definitely quite mediocre, but shout out to the couple people who keep showing up with it at tournaments and doing okay with it. It's definitely one of those decks that like I think it is viable enough, and if you're fine going 0-1 or 0-2 drop at a tournament, which you should be, because like why are you putting that much stock into an online tournament? They're supposed to be for fun. Like it's definitely a viable deck there. Like Moltres Hoopa I think can top cut a tournament if people just played it. Bolton, it's fine. Now going back to a deck that has top cut tournaments, Duraludon VMAX. At the beginning of the format, Alex Szymanski was killing it with this just shenanigans list that played Cinccino and Zoroark and Bronzong and Altaria and just the whole thing with the Duraludon VMAXs. So what do we think about Duraludon VMAX as like an anti-meta deck? Is it viable? Did Szymanski already break it and it wasn't good enough? Like what happened there?
Did he turn a wall?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a stalled it. Oh, can you do any attacking?
Oh yeah, you still attack. You do 240.
Yeah. It's like attacking Hoopa, pretty much.
Yeah, like Mew does 130 to you, and then you do 240 in return, which is more than 130. Significant.
Yeah.
You play the Bronzong, so you can Bronzong off Cheryl, put it all back.
You said Altaria, I got confused. Like, which Altaria we're thinking?
Oh,
but I would imagine
good
it's
call.
the supporter one.
Yeah, it's a supporter one because it works with the Cinccino. So you put the Cheryl on top, Cinccino into it, and you Zoroark into the things.
That's kind of fun. I've seen a lot of bad Duraludon lists in my time on the PTCGO ladder.
True.
Mostly because I need to fix my elo because I've been playing all these road decks myself. But it seems like a fun list. It seems a lot better than the usual Duraludon list. So I think I'd be into that one.
I tried it.
I think right now it's probably good because I think like a week ago it probably was bad because everybody was still playing like 2-2 Urshi and Single Strike, but now they're hopping back to the Gengar lines. So
it also seemed like people were really into Leafeon because like people countered Mew so much that Leafeon saw a lot of play last week, and now people have realized that Leafeon's not that good, and so they've jumped off of it, which helps Duraludon, right? Because Leafeon kind of bodies Duraludon with the no basic energies. Duraludon has like, I think it has 3 retreat at least. So it essentially gets one shot with some quick shootings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Duraludon's a cool, it should make a pop-up again. I think it's the new Decidueye. Because Decidueye is trash. Do not touch Decidueye. No, correct. Bring Decidueye so my Mew deck can just go Power Tablet, Max Miracle, and take all my prizes.
Yeah, that is pretty good that we have a Decidueye killer.
It feels so good. God, Mew is such a stupid deck. It's so good. But Duraludon feels like it should have that Mew growth curve of like, it's really good play, then a really bad play, then a really good play, then a really bad play. And we might be entering the really good play territory soon. Yesterday as well, on Monday, Grant Manley, who is streaming at Trickroar on Twitch now, so make sure to check him out, played a deck that I also played on stream. I net decked him beforehand. But he played attacking Zamazenta. Like there's some Zacians in there, but they're literally just for Intrepid Sword because there's not a single metal saucer in this list. So in the late night series, you can find him. He went 7-3 with it. It is one of the biggest binder drops I've ever seen. So I'm going to list some of the cards that Grant played in this list. It's 3 Zamazenta, 2 Zacian. That's it. And then 4 Avery, 4 Pokemon Center Late, 1 Cook, 4 Moo Cheese, 4 Lucky Ice Pop, 2 Potion, 4 Rusted Shield, and 2 Cape of Toughness. More tools than Pokemon in this deck. 4 Crystal Cave and 2 Sir Chester Bath. So again, more stadiums than Pokemon in this deck as well. And it's just, I played it and it's such a cool, bad, good deck at the same time. Because like the Zamazenta, you just heal off a bunch of damage. Your opponent did nothing. You can knock off their special energies. I don't know, do we have any thoughts on attacking Zamazenta as a real rogue deck?
That deck is ridiculous.
In a good way or a bad way?
Well, depends on what side of the deck you are on.
Let's say you're playing the deck.
It's like, all right, so give me 3 turns, I'm good to go, right? Couple of Averys, couple of Marnies, I'm perfect, right? Because all you got to do is set up, drop the sword, get energies on someone that can do damage, and then now all you're doing is just trying to heal that dude until you get energies on the next one, right? And then that one gets knocked out, you're like, all right, I'm done healing them, right? And you start healing the next one, and you try to set up the last one, you just keep healing, right? And if you're like hit their opponent, you go like, this sucks, man. Like, Marnie attack. All right, cool. I did no damage because he healed it all. And you go like, Marnie attack. Once again, no damage. And then like you get Brave Bladed. And you go like, all right, well, I can KOization. And then you go like, well, Zamazenta gets me. Tough.
Yeah, it definitely feels like when I played it, that's exactly what happens. You're like such a slow deck, but Zamazenta with a Rusted Shield has 300 HP. So you're just kind of sitting behind this gigantic wall. And you're like, attach pass. Or sorry, attach sword, attach. And then you just go, all right, assault tackle. And every time you're just like, ice pop, heads, ice pop, heads, ice pop. And you're just like healing off. The PCL heals 60, which is somehow relevant because V Pokemon are kind of not that good. Max Miracle does 130. Cook heals 70. So massive.
Yeah.
Imagine, thank goodness
So-
Malolana doesn't exist in this format.
Or Luke Metal.
Oh gosh.
It's like, oh yeah, Luke Metal is like really good, really kind of annoying because you got the GX and whatnot. You go tank team, two riser, kind of a nuisance, right? We don't even need Luke Metal anymore. It's weird.
Yeah, this deck
But
is.
we got
It's something.
the Luke Metal. Oh, it's ridiculous.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I'm gonna
but
check. He lost to
downside is-
Suicune, and he lost to Genesect V deck, and that's it.
Yeah, my guess is that the Suicune would turn to Ludicolo, KO Zamazenta, or they went Marnie hit, and then he had like Startization, or Zamazenta did nothing. That's my guess on how the game went, because that's the only way you lose, especially to Suicune decks. You just don't bench anybody.
Well, remember though, there's no Metal Saucers in Grant's list.
Yeah.
So it takes
Yeah.
3 turns to attack. So the Suicune's able to hit for what? 5, 6, at least 120 or 140.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Well, you can play the Bath, right? The Circhester Bath, so you take 20 less, and then you just have to heal.
yeah,
so
but
if
then
you
they
start
take
station,
20 less.
Yeah.
yeah, but you're not attacking though. Because it takes 3 turns because they don't play Metal Saucer.
Oh, true.
Yeah, so you go like Start Station, Bath, Cape, Trumpet Sword. And you just Trumpet Sword. You just Trumpet Sword until you're good to go. And then you go like, all right, bench someone else. And like hopefully they can never like out heal, but they could also just pop off with like double Ludicolo because you're not applying any pressure.
Yeah. So Grant's Zam deck seems pretty darn cool. Definitely something.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think Moltres Hoopa is the most viable we've talked about so far, but the Zamazenta deck I think is good. It beats people who don't know what they're doing against it too, like 100% of the time. Like if people don't know what's going on, then they have no chance. It's so fun.
Yeah. It's a nuisance.
One more rogue deck that I think is viable in this meta that I want to talk about. And I actually have not played it, but shout out to Sir Pandage who posted this in the Discord. And Sack, I know you played it on stream. It's
Yes.
Alcremie, but not the Alcremie that we're used to with Shadow Rider. Sack, can you please explain this, whatever this deck is?
So, right, you guys all listened to the podcast before. You guys know I'm a big fan of the Latios combo that we just got from Fusion Drake. Hear me out. You can attach energy to each other. You can go red assist, you can go blue assist. And then you could try to attack with Latios and do 210. Or, hear me out, you don't play any other energies besides Psychic, and you just go big Alchemy VMAX, caked up, and discard a lot of Psychic energies. And how do you get Psychic energies in play? Latios and Latios. So you start, you play Fog Crystals, you play the Stormy Mountains, get some pokes out, Quick Ball, you play an Articuno package, you play 16 energies to get things on board. You can go Dormant, or you just go Latios and do a lot of damage. It's a lot of fun, it's very neat, and I like the idea a lot.
So you played it on stream. How did it actually go?
I lost to Azul.
Well, that doesn't count.
Other-
We all do that.
Yeah, it was great. It was a good matchup. We went back and forth. But Mew VMAX can go leap away into another Mew, and you have to you're very limited on boss and draw supports. So the deck really functions on draw supports. You're not really bossing a lot, and so you have to get energy in play by drawing cards, and then therefore you're not bossing. So they can just kind of set up stuff like that. But other than that, the deck kind of functioned pretty well. Surprisingly, you can get a lot of energy in play and do a lot of damage early game. I beat the Zamazenta deck that we were talking about earlier. I beat just quite a bunch of other decks that you do big damage for sure. Like I did 600 just because I had 10 energy in play.
So wait,
So many energies.
the Mew doing the Psychic Leap shouldn't matter, right? Because the Alcremie just Okos them?
No, they leapt away into a 2-prizer.
Yeah. So
And then they set. So Mew is really, really good at setting up damage, right? Because you can go leap away to a 2-prizer, and then have 2 Mew set up, and then you do 210. And then it just sets up the perfect math with the Vitality Band on Cake.
Man, to go
it's
back.
forcing stack to have a boss each turn. That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to have boss.
This is why I
Which
want
is
more
like-
Elisa Sparkle than you.
Yep.
Pull off shenanigans like that. But okay, that makes sense.
And you can Oko them, but they'll never be there to Oko.
Wait, that's
So are you
broken.
always doing turn 2 a dormant though?
Nope. Actually, I didn't adornment that much at all. Dude, there's definitely times you're like, all right, well, this is PTCGO and I started Crobat. So have fun, go, right? But like there's been times where I go like cake, attach, right? And if I did play Zacian, the Psychic Zacian V that no one was a fan of earlier. So you can like attach the second Psychic energy if you go first and get that out. But you go cake, attach, and then you can go Latios to get that turn 1. Depends on how your quick balls and level balls turn out. You get 2 more energy a turn. Then turn 2, you can go evolve, attach. I play Articuno, attach a few more energies with Latias and Latios. Because you don't have to have like 2 of them in play. You could have 2 Latios and 1 Latias, or 2 Latias and 1 Latios, and you get 3 energy in play, right? You get like as many energy as you want, depending on how you draw. So like turn 2, and you play E-switches too. So like if you miss the attachment, you can go E-switch off the Latias and Latios. You can do turn 2 Whisk, G-Max Whisk for a lot. So the amount of times they do an adornment is lower than what you would think, because you could pop off for sure. The list is still a work in progress. I cut the Zacians, cut a VMAX, who started adding nets. So I'm going to work on it some more, see what we can come up with, make it smoother, but big fan of it. Oh, also you play training court.
Oh wait, nets are sick. You can use Latias's ability, net it, and then use it again, right?
Oh yeah, big time. I was like, oh, sick! I can go red assist, net, red assist.
Wait,
and then on top of that, I can blue assist.
So it's like Shadow Rider, but you don't have 3 prizers sitting on the bench and you don't draw cards.
Yeah, exactly. So human, right? You go nets. Nets is like you pick them up. Man, what am I going to do with my psychic energy that I just attached to my Latias and Latios? You discard them with cake. So there's no energy to scoop them down and discard with. So you go net, put it back down, right? You reuse it. You're not worried about the energies. Discard the energy out of cake. It also plays a 1 of Articuno. So you go net the Articuno, you get 2. If for some reason you just draw 6 energies. And they play Turning Court, so you always get 1 pack. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I was big excited to play it.
Do you draw enough cards?
It plays 2 Crobats, 4 money for research. So if you can pop off, for sure, but there's be times where you like start a Crobat and go. So I draw support's always the thing, though.
That's fair. A 16 energy deck isn't going to draw that well.
Right.
Ever, really, to be fair. But that's kind of cool. So would you ever bring it to a tournament? When are you going to bring it to a tournament,
actually? Not a tournament that I could play Suicune at.
All right. So not good enough to actually pull out.
I'd do an online tournament, though.
Oh, yeah. Definitely an online tournament.
I did locals if I felt like sleeving up a deck, but I do this thing where I don't sleeve up decks. So whatever deck I have sleeved currently is the deck I play.
Oh, me too.
And that's Suicune. Yeah. If I don't have to sleeve up a deck, I'm going to choose not to. So I've been playing Suicune for the past 2 months. I still have not Top End Lambre on my deck. I have the blue one instead of the green one because I don't own a Top End Lambre, and that's the one I started with.
Wait,
I was like, oh, I don't have a Lambre.
Just cut it. It's not good.
No, then I have to unsleeve it.
Ah, yes, of course.
Nope.
Okay, I'm not that lazy.
Yeah.
I'll play the same deck, but I will make 1 or 2 changes. So, of the decks we've talked about, I will fully admit Moltres Hoopa is one that I want to bring to an online tournament. Because, like you, I don't like unsleeving IRL, so I'll probably never do anything except play Mew IRL. But I would bring to an IRL tournament. I think it's good. I think it's good into a Mew single strike meta because those are both favored matchups. And I really wish people would get on that train, but I'm not a big enough content creator for people to listen to me. So I don't think they're going to.
Yeah. Locals is a bit rough. Like you like, oh, I want to bring that to locals and have a lot of fun, right? But then you show up to locals and no one's playing Mew VMAX. Everyone's playing whatever they want to bring, right? And then you're like, I plan to hit Mew VMAX. I'll hit was Duraludon. So that was fun. Or like Rayquaza. I still see like a few Rayquazas at League. Speaking of like rogue decks, there was Bolton VMAX. We talked about Bolton, right? There was a Bolton VMAX deck that played Rayquaza and Laffy's and experience shares. And I think Bolton VMAX could be like a sick rogue deck. And I think, Talak, you were saying something about playing that earlier?
Oh, yeah. I've been playing that as like my ladder grind for the past week. So,
yeah, that one seems like a fun rogue deck to play.
How's it going?
How's that?
How's it going, Locke? Yeah.
Not that good, but
Now we're talking
I'm
about.
still working on it. Nope.
Oh, poor Bolton.
You don't get energy on board?
So I think I'm still going, like, unlike the psychic deck, I am actually at, like, if I go first, which I still want to pick first anyway, for some unknown reason, just because I like to set up my board, but turn 2, then I'm still doing, like, Bolton's first attack anyway, just to set up my board more. But maybe I think it might be better just to go second, I guess.
Just go like turn 1 electrify.
Yeah.
It seemed really cool. I want to try it for sure. So I got to pick up Bolton VMAXs, but I think that could be a nice rogue deck.
Remember back when a deck wanted to go second?
Peek around.
Yeah, that was back in the good old days. There was actual thought. Bro, I just hope this format gets better. I'm enjoying Mew, but also every time I play Mew, I'm like, this is stupid. Why is this deck so good? That's the moral of the story. As much as I want to talk about rogue decks, Mew is good. That's why Moltres Hoopa is good, because it beats Mew pretty effectively. Let's get into questions from Twitch chat. So first question coming in from Blake. Have any of you guys played the new remakes? And if so, how do you feel about them? So BDSP? Any of us played it?
No, but I would pick Piplup.
Yep, I would too.
That's about it.
So my trip down to Iowa started at midnight o'clock, little midnight o'clock action, right? And we took the time to download Diamond before we left. And that's a 5-hour trip to Iowa. So I'm driving, and my friend is just in shotgun playing Diamond all the way down, man. I was like as bummed out as I could be, but still excited to see him play Diamond. And they played it all weekend long. We stayed up all night. We got there at 5 a.m, and then we didn't. Well, I went to bed because I was tired, but like, they didn't go to bed. They played Diamond all weekend long. I played Unite, and some of the new features are ridiculous. Like they were hunting Digletts. They were in the underground together. All the new Pokemon, the new graphics. The graphics, in my opinion, kind of look like Animal Crossing and Diamond.
Oh yeah,
wait, that sounds.
If they had a baby, you get Brilliant Diamond, which is like I don't know, kind of like the Sword and Shield ones, but it looked like a lot of fun. I think I'm going to get it this weekend to try it out. That's my first impression on Diamond.
Yeah, I haven't touched it. I want to.
Oh, yeah, Piplup.
It'll. Oh yeah, Piplup for sure. Piplup's adorable. It'll probably go on my Christmas list because my wife needs to get me gifts, and I have no idea what to ask for. So we'll get there. We'll get there eventually. Toward TCG asks, "What's the best type of bread?" Opinion.
I don't know. Anything that does not have enriched wheat flour.
Is that taste or is that
eat bread or wheat?
Health, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You guys ever try that like Hawaiian bread though? Like the really sweet bread, like the dinner rolls, buns kind of thing that are like Hawaiian. Yeah. Those are. I could eat an entire package of those in one sitting. I try not to, but I could.
I'd say sourdough, I think, because it has the best flavor. Or no, actually, sourdough's number 2. Pretzel bread. Oh, I love pretzels, man.
Wait,
that's
can you consider
number 1.
breadsticks?
Breadstick,
Like,
bread's in the name, so I'm gonna say yes.
Yeah, like a breadstick. You know, like you go to like a restaurant, you get breadsticks as your appetizer.
Yeah.
I could down some of those.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let's say yeah, pretzel bun on a burger, anything like that. Followed closely by sourdough, and then a big drop off because I don't know any other types of bread. Is a gyro a pita? Pita. Ooh, pita's really high up there. All right, never.
Yeah,
pita's a.
Pita has a bread though.
It's pita bread, right? Am I wrong?
Yeah. I've never heard of it.
It's unleavened, so
I don't
You guys
I don't
make your
know.
own
It depends on the definition of a person's bread is, but
Yeah.
All right. If it counts, it's in my top 3. If it doesn't count, then I have a top 2. Senior.
all right. And to me, there's no such thing as bad bread, so I'll eat any bread.
No, there's definitely bad.
That's a good view.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what else is good? The like pumpernickel bread at Cheesecake Factory. I don't know why.
Oh yeah,
It's like really good though. Senior Doom asks, is Meloetta actually viable in Mew VMAX, or is it too niche to work? I haven't tried it yet. I personally think it is viable. How viable? It's probably not worth a deck spot though. Like I tried Deoxys, and literally every game I was like, why would I bench this when I can bench a Genesect? Or why would I bench this when I can bench another Mew? And so I'm gonna say no, but it's really cool, and I'm not against the idea of Meloetta.
Depends on how like the format, like what other tools we get, right? Because Meloetta could be a stick one prize that does 210.
True. And if they don't boss it, or if they boss around it, it still does a bunch of damage because you have 2 Fusion Strike energies on it.
Or you have your Fusion Strike energy spread out. So also it caps at 280. So like the high end, right, is you have all 4 Fusion Strike energies in play. And the low end is like that should be a Genesect.
Yeah.
So like, that's where we're at.
Yeah. Cool card. You can also Fog Crystal for it, which is nice.
It's probably like a win more card compared to like a Latios or whatever, or
Yeah,
the Dragon.
Damage cap might be worth it at some point, depending on
Yeah,
what
but
it
if
gives.
you already have 4 energies on board, you're probably in a good spot to begin with. So
that is true. I feel like if I have 4 energy on the field, I'm fine.
Can we venture off into Meloetta really quick?
Sure.
Because you've played and expanded, you get special charge. You do 280 every turn, and you have E-Power. So, like, in expanded, I think Meloetta might be a lot more fun than Mew VMAX. But that's only because you have a special charge, and you have, like, Viasiga for Alicia, and, like, just a ridiculous amount of draw support in expanded. So, I think it could be a decent one prizing, like, somewhere, if you have, like, the right tools.
I'm going to hard pass on that compared to Mad Party.
I think it's more efficient than Mad Party, actually, because you get Dimension Valley. That's just my humble opinion as someone who played Meloetta and has yet to play Mad Party.
I think
also
the problem is Dimension Valley doesn't help you because you have to have multiple Fusion Strike energy anyway.
Yeah. No, you don't have to. You don't need 2 attachments. You do like 210, and then you have 1 Fusion Strike on Meloetta, and you go Dimension Valley, so you can spread out your other Fusion Strike energies with Alicia. You don't have to commit 2 to the active. You go Dimension Valley, you attack for 1.
I mean, that's cool, but also Mad Party.
Yeah. Another fun little rogue deck idea, you guys mentioned Deoxys earlier, is that you can attach any scroll of whatever to Deoxys. So you can do Scroll of the Fanged Dragon, which is a single strike scroll for 300 damage.
How are you getting, was it 2 fighting, 2 metal, and a colorless on this thing?
So Fusion Strike.
1 fighting.
Yeah, 1 fighting, 2 metal, 2 colorless.
Okay.
Fusion Strike energy counts as anything. So you go Fusion Strike, and you need the Fusion Strike energy to do damage with Deoxys the first attack. So you play Fusion Strike energy, and you play Metal Saucer. You can go straight Genesect with a 1/1 Bronzong.
I'm out. Let's go to the next question.
I think you're pretty far off.
Saying. It's kind of fun.
Stellar Wish Gaming asks, how does Gengar Umbreon compare to Urshifu Umbreon, and is it worth getting Gengars? I'm going to say I like Gengar. I think Gengar is a good card. Is it worth getting Gengars now? Probably not now, unless you really want to play it, or if your locals is all Mew, yeah, get Gengars. But I think Gengar is a very good card, and if you invest in Gengars now, you will have a playable deck at some point, like a very playable deck at some point. It's too good not to be good. Especially rotation. We're losing Inteleon, we're losing Cinccino. And I don't want to be the post-rotation person, but like as of right now, heck yeah. It's just a good card. Like there's no way Gengar's not going to be meta at some point.
I saw the Single Strike list going around that played the battle VIP passes in Cramomatic, right? To get your Houndooms out and stuff like that. I think that might be very interesting to play with Gengar. And just Azul's Gengar VMAX list that he won a tournament with the other day that plans the Inteleon and the Nets could be very viable. If you have like the right amount of like searchable things like Cheryl and whatnot with the Inteleon engine and the Houndooms, and you hit the right meta, it could be very good. So I think the Gengar, if you had Umbreon, is probably better than Single Strike.
No, I'm always going to be Single Strike Urshifu over what's it called? Over Gengar. Not always. In certain metas, Gengar's better. But as of right now, I'd much rather have Bear. Bear hits hard.
The G-Max One Blow is just very nice.
And plus, Urshifu V is a very good attacker too. Like that thing can OHKO a lot of stuff, which is super nice. Slapjacks13 asks, would you rather eat a hot dog shaped hamburger or a hamburger shaped hot dog?
All right, hear me out. Is that just the same thing?
No. What? Bro, do you even know what a hot dog is?
Or a hamburger shaped hot dog?
So a hot dog is essentially bologna, right? And a hamburger is ground beef. Okay, you're struggling with this one.
Hot dog shaped.
I think both are fine, but if I had to choose one, I guess I'd take the hot dog shaped hamburger. If you ever been to like New York City, they have like a thing called a chopped cheese, and it's kind of like it's almost pretty much like a hot dog shaped hamburger.
I think I want. All right, now that I've thought about it, right, figured out what's going on. I think I want the one that's shaped like a hamburger. Is it the hot dog that goes on the hamburger?
The hot dog shaped hamburger, yes.
Or
the hamburger shaped hot dog.
Yeah, that one. Because I want to put toppings on it, like lettuce and tomato. And you can have like a variety of like hot dog meats, right? Like it's not the same meat. So you can like change it up, right? You can have like brats kind of a thing.
Wait, are we counting that as a hot dog? That changes my answer. That's not a hot dog.
What's your hot dog made of then?
Bologna.
That's it?
That's what a hot dog is, yeah.
Well, feel misled. But this is my reason for this is that you can put toppings on it like tomatoes and lettuce and cheese. It doesn't go all over the place. You can't really do that on a hot dog shaped item.
Bro, okay. If we have an Arizona region, I'm gonna take you to get a Sonoran dog. You can definitely put all that stuff and more on a hot dog, I promise.
Yeah. If you ever gotten a sub,
oh yeah,
it's split down the middle, and you can put lettuce and tomatoes on it.
Yeah, but that's a sub though. That's not a hot dog. It's like your hot dog is like
for your hot dog.
Yay size.
More and cut your tomato in half.
So you're saying I could have a sub-sized hot dog? Speaking of subs, I went to Jersey Mike's the other day. You guys know what Jersey Mike's is?
Yeah.
For the first time, right? Never have gone there before in my entire being here on Earth, right? For the first time over the weekend when I went to Iowa. And they're like, hey, Zach, you should get the giant sub. I'm like, which one is the giant sub? You see that one up there? That one's bigger than the rest of them? You should get that one. I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I'll be able to eat that. I was like, I'll buy it for you. I was like, all right, cool. Appreciate it. So bought it for me, ate the entire thing. It was so good. Still hungry. Speaking of subs.
All right. And as the most experienced chef here, I actually did sell both beef hot dogs and pork hot dogs, and people would be so mad at me when I asked the question, regardless of what side they were on, of what hot dog do you want?
Really? Are people feel that strongly?
Yeah. And you know what? The funny thing is that now that I'm in DC, everybody wants a half pork, half beef, because it's called like a half smoke here in DC.
Bro, DC can't decide.
Yep.
The correct choice for a hot dog is not eating them. I hate hot dogs. I love bratwurst. Bratwurst is delicious. Sausage, delicious. Hot dogs? I don't care if it's beef. I don't care if it's pork. It's disgusting.
Question was, what shape do you want it?
Oh, the shape? I'd rather have a hot dog shaped hamburger because I don't want to eat a hot dog. I don't care what shape the hot dog is. The hot dog could be in the shape of Beyonce. I don't want to eat it.
I'm not going to touch that one.
Asian Ninja Evan asks, so I have no idea how to qualify for day 2 of regionals. Do I play until I have a good winning record or do I draw? So for regionals, and they currently haven't announced anything about it changing, you play 9 rounds of Swiss on day 1. Anyone with 19 match points or better makes it to day 2. Mello, what's 19 match points? That's a good question. Wins count as 3, ties count as 1, losses count as 0. So 6-2-1 or better makes it to day 2. And then if you make day 2, you keep playing. Now, if you have 3 losses, you do not have to drop. If you want CP championship points, you can still go 6-3 or potentially 5-3-1 and earn championship points as well. So you don't have to drop. And in fact, you can just keep playing. The only regional I didn't earn points at, I've never dropped from a regional before. Because I was like, well, I really want to play more Zapdos. Let's finish it out anyway. So you don't have to drop at all. There's no reason to unless you're bored, which is like totally fine, right? So yeah, 6-2-1 or better makes day 2, but you do not have to drop. You can still earn points if you don't make day 2, and you can still play even if you want to, because you know what? The game is supposed to be fun.
Also, the underrated 504 is 19 match points. So if you take 0 L's, 5 dubs, and 4 ties, you can make it into day 2.
That is,
good luck getting beyond that, but yeah, you make it in there.
Some control players, it happens too.
That's
sometimes so. Yeah.
Do you remember the guy that went 009?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, he was playing Sylveon.
I think
it was.
I think they mentioned they were like 007 or something. They just offered to ID the last 2 because they wanted the meme. But yeah, it's good for them.
Oh, yeah. I do want to add one more thing.
Yeah.
Technically, it's not 19. It's 19 match points
or
or top 32.
Yes.
And since we don't know if they're going to cap some of the regionals or not or whatever, like theoretically there could be a regional with like only like 100 masters only. And
Yeah,
good call. Because
Or
Toronto
whatever, yeah.
regionals a few years ago, I think there was a 6-3 that made it in, so 18 match points. I remember because that was the one where Pikarom was hyped. It was expanded, and everyone's like, Pikarom's the BDIF, and only one Pikarom made it, and it was the 6-3 person was the only Pikarom that made it. Because like literally everyone was just playing anti-Pikarom because it was that good of a deck. All right.
Oh yeah.
Last question. Gazerbeam asks, why has Rapid Strike Inteleon seen play? The VMAX. I think it's good. It's not like that good, but it's like good. Right? Like Cheryl Spam is good. That's it. I keep using the word good. Cheryl Spam is very good. If something can't Oko you, you can technically beat everything in the format. Again, technically. And
wait, what was the question?
why is Rapid Strike Inteleon seen play?
Oh, I thought it was like Rapid Strike, and I'm thinking like Rapid Strike Urshifu with Inteleon. I'm like, because you go Rapid Flow, 2 things, and then you go Rapid Flow, 2 things, and it's like very good. I'm like, wait, what is happening here? It's like, oh, it's the Inteleon line. Yeah, I think it's I got some thoughts on that one too. Hopefully, I can work on it.
Yeah, I think it's not been figured out yet. Because after playing it, it's like I'm just hitting for 140 every turn. This kind of feels really bad.
Can I take a shot at trying to figure it out?
I mean, yes.
You played both Inteleon VMAXs.
I've tried it. Locke also tried it.
Yep.
It's
like, what did you focus on? Did you go like Inteleon VMAX, not the Rapid Strike one, or did you go more Rapid Strike one?
Mine was more focused on the non-Rapid Strike one.
Yeah, I think that's just the better attack.
Yeah.
But then you're kind of screwed where you can't spam Cheryl then. So
yeah, it's like it's not bad. And shout out to Sancho who DM'd me a list, and he was doing well in an online tournament with it until he DC'd and then went to dinner. But it played the Frostlass as well, which was like a cool little addition. Instead of the Inteleon line, it played the Inteleon VMAX with Frostlass. So like there's probably something there. I think Frostlass is super underexplored. Because like Scoop Up Nettable Aqua Patch seems really good. But like, yeah, there's something to Inteleon for sure. The card is too interesting not to be viable. But I'm not a deck builder. I don't know. I play Mew VMAX because it's very obvious how to play Mew VMAX.
Yeah, I need to pick up Inteleons and I'll give it an attempt. I actually don't have the Inteleon VMAXs from the first run of Inteleon VMAX. So
let's get the League Battle deck.
Yeah.
Feel free to DM me. I'll send it for you as long as you can trade until live comes out.
Yeah. Right.
It's also when live comes out, it's also 3,000 crystals. So
that's true.
Yeah.
All right, Zach, where can the people find you?
Over on Twitch, SackStack17. Also on Twitter, SackStack17 with an underscore though, SackStack_17. So I'm so close to 1,000 followers on the Twitch, and I just hit 300 on the Twitter. So help me out. We should have fun.
The Twitter.
It's like the Facebook.
Locke, where can the people find you?
on Twitch, I'm the Lock with an underscore, but I'm not really playing that much PTCGO until live comes out. So not until 2022.
That sounds about right. And then myself, Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube at mellow_Magikarp. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Make sure to leave a review of some amount of stars. Less than 6, more than 4.5 is always appreciated. And if you're going to leave a low star review, make sure to make it funny. That way, instead of crying, I laugh. Always appreciated. This has been another episode of the Lake of Rage podcast. Catch you all next week.